So the cars heading off onto the green flag lap for the final round of the 2025 Tagiwa Roadsports Championship, with 5 drivers and teams in contention for the title. Let's have a look at how the grid lines up then for this one. It's a 45-minute race with a pit stop of 1 minute between 15 and 30 minutes into the race. Several teams though have a pit stop penalty to serve as well. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But for the moment, the grid on pole position is the number 18 car started by Simon Major, alongside him 117 Martin Gadsby. Second row of the grid is 55, which is now Paul Simonson on his own, and the number 2 car being started by Alan Henderson. Third row of the grid, number 89 Scott Parkin, and number 6 is Brother Ryan Parkin. On the fourth row, it's the 24 car of Chris Freeman, and 222 is Darren Goes. On the fifth row, it's 211 Giles Kirk, size number 188 Joe Williams. On the sixth row, it's the 221 car, which is being driven by Paul Browse, and John Monday is in car 421. On the seventh row of the grid, scroll on to that in a moment, that is going to be where we find the number 8 car, which is being driven for the first part of the race by Matthew Tidmarsh. Beside him is number 12 Liam Trilly. On the next row it's 83, which is Will Puttergill, and 5, which is Jonathan Packer. On the 9th row 68 is John Dundee, and it's Josh Johnson in car number 121. On the 10th row 26 is Mark Burton, and 99 is Martin Gambling. On the 11th row it's 69 Jordan Newington and Mark Creed in 123, Matt Creed in it I should say. On the 12th row it's 36 Samuel Rasool and 7 Jez Banks in 24th on the grid. On row 13 it is the 11 car of Simon Baker and 666 Sammy Bowler. On the 14th row it's 65 Daniel Mamet and Andrew Cooper in 41. On the 15th row it's number 9, which is Luke Beardmore, and Johnny Hayes in car number 93. On the 16th row it's number 1 Samuel Dennis and 172 Chris Heathcote. On the 17th row it's Gavin Johnson, number 31, and number 3 Ben McCauley. On the 18th row it's number 60 Luke Reynolds and number 88 Philip Adcock. On the 19th row it's 71, which is Martin Rogers, and 22 Chris Fantana. Tom Harley in 531 and Chris Morton in number 40 on the 20th row. On the 21st and final row it's 16, which is Robbie Boot, and the 17th car, which is Kevin Taylor BB. Right, we have got the big grid here for a 45-minute race. We've got a championship to be decided as well. We'll try and keep you informed as to what is going on with that, with pit stop penalties and all of the other details as this race goes on. But we are about to get underway for a 45-minute race here at Donington Park.
And slowing, there is the number 8 Matt Tidmarsh car, which was a Class B championship contender. The drama before the start.
It certainly is. Red lights are on. They are about to go out and the race getting underway. They do so. We're off and running then, and it's a positive start there by Simon Major in the number 18 South. There's one car already off on the grass, an unforced error that it seems, a little bit further back down the order, and it is Major instantly Martin Gadsby in the BMW that was fully qualified by the slightly faster driver Ian Jones. He's dropped down to 3rd position off the line then. They're all making their way through Redgate and Hollywood for the first time. So a little bit of settling down of the order to be done in this race. There are 4 different classes in Roadsports. Those classes split on power to weight ratio, and the 5 championship contenders came from 4 different classes, although there's already dramas, as Josh has said, for one of those, which is the Class B front runners, Matthew Tidmarsh and Chris Webster in their Ginetta.
Yeah, they're a class championship contender, not an overall championship contenders. Out wide there, Ryan Parkin being passed by Giles Kirk, and Scott Parkin slowing. Scott Parkin is slowing, the Class A championship leader, who was an overall contender. This could have class championship implications as well, because Scott Parkin slowed on the approach towards Coppice Corner. The car is still slow as it comes out of the corner, so this is going to be an early pit visitor, and well, that is one of our 5 championship contenders out of contention already. There's been drama at McLean's. There's at least one car that needs to recover. There's Mark Burton, another championship contender, gaining positions after a penalty in qualifying. He's made a very good start indeed, gained several positions. More positional changes as Martin Gadsby loses a 3rd place there to Alan Henderson, but it is Simon Major that leads. In 2nd, Paul Simonson, new card to the team this weekend. Porsche Cayman, after the Simon Green Motorsport crew really have struggled with the BMW M4 they've had previously, but this new Porsche going really well for Paul Simonson, the Ferrari challenge racer, who's up in 2nd place. And there, another championship contender, that's Matt Creed in the Renault Clio, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's in the white and yellow and black car that you can see in shot there. But end of lap 1, it's Simon Major leading by just over 1 second from Paul Simerson in second. Alan Henderson is third, so it's 18.55 and 2. Then 1:17. Martin Gadsby is fourth.
No longer.
But not for much longer. Darren Goes has gone through in the 2:22 car. He's now 4 places from a starting position. Giles Kirk 2:11 is in, I think, 6th position. He's about to go 5th. He was the driver on the grass, I think, wasn't he?
Yep.
At the start of the race.
And into the pit lane has come Scott Parkin, so he's out of overall contention, and that could hurt his Class A Championship battle too. There's 5 cars that can also win the Class A title, and his closest rival is leading the race. Simon Major come into this 7 points behind Scott Parkin for the Class A Championship, and this could change a lot for the Darkside Developments man.
That's right, so we're working lap 2 of this race. All of the top 10 cars are Class A cars, and then 11 really down to 18th of all Class B cars, so kind of the power to weight ratio split in the classes working out more or less how you'd expect at the moment. Pick up how things are going on in the lower classes as well in a moment, because that's also very relevant to the overall championship.
Matt Creed is leading Class C, who has the best points in reality coming to the weekend.
And if he wins Class C, then he will be the champion, I think, won't he?
Yeah, but he's got the longest pit stop penalty of anybody at 25 seconds. So to build that, he's going to be challenging, and that is because he has won the last 2 races. He won at Silverstone and Snetterton.
So there is the other Darkside Developments Audi going up a position. That is Ryan Parkin in the number 6 car. He's got ahead of Giles Kirk now for 6th.
And on the first lap of the race, the lap record was broken by Simon Major for all of 2.8 seconds before Alan Henderson broke the record. 1 minute 40.304. He's passed Paul Simerson for second.
Okay, he's there in the Lotus, which is often fast but sometimes fragile as well, that Lotus.
That is a car still in contention for the Class A Championship. So they need to get past Simon Major, and particularly with Parkin potentially out of the race, it is not out of the question, although they're a long way back, that Alan Henderson and Dan Tude could take the Class A title.
And it's 3 cars side by side there, including our Class C Championship contenders, Jez Banks and Daniel Perry. In fact, it's just Jez Banks now in that car for this weekend, isn't it? Ollie going solo, so he's involved in the thick of that battle with the likes of Samuel Razul in the number 36 car, the BMW driven by the recently married Sam McKee, who's here watching on at the moment, as is Samuel's wife Chloe watching on as well.
That's 3rd place Jez Banks has just grabbed, and as you say, he's in the championship contention, as is for his Class C rival Matt Creed. 4 points between the 2 of them coming into this, but Creed leads it and is 4 or 5 seconds ahead at this stage of Jez Banks. A 3rd driver that was side by side in all of that, but passed them both with Sammy Bowler in her Mini. She's in a Class B car. She had probably qualified this morning and is progressing through the order, so she's into 22nd place, I think, in all of that. Up across the line, by the way, has come again. Exactly the same thing has happened, actually 3 times. Major set the lap record, Henderson set the lap record, but Paul Simerson has now set the lap record. More championship drama, because Martin Gadsby, who was in Class A championship contention, there's so many people who can win championships in this race, he has come into the pit lane. So down the pit lane has come Martin Gadsby, so perhaps something was not right with his car. That's why he was losing positions towards the beginning. But Paul Simerson, 1 minute 39.8, new lap record, that new to the team Porsche, going great guns in the early stage of this race. I understand Simon Green had to go to the continent to get some parts of the car on Thursday, I think, and that could be all good news. There is Dan Jude. He's about to take over one of the championship contending cars, but for now he's trying to sort out the team car, Ben McCauley's Lotus Elise. Yes,
Ben in that number 3 car that runs within Class C in the championship. All not well with that car. 39 minutes of the race to go. There's the 69 class Jordan Newington in his Class B Vauxhall Corsa. Who's he doing battle with there? That was the Martin Gambling Lotus, wasn't it? Number 69.
So in Class C, Matt Creed only leads by 1.4 seconds. He's not able to pull away from the New Zealander Simon Baker, and that could have championship implications with the long pit stop that's to come from Matt Creed. So he's not pulling away. Here they come, actually. Oh, they were coming up the hill. The Class C leaders, Matt Creed ahead of Simon Baker. Simon Baker in one of the Mazda RX-8s on this grid. A rare car really to see out racing. There's a couple on this grid. Particularly rare to see a New Zealander racing in a British racing championship, and he's had a good season. He's been a regular on the Class C podium.
Yeah, and that means he's got 15-second penalties for his pit stops, whereas Creed has got 25. So it's only 10-second differential between them. So it's not the full 25 seconds that we need to take into account here.
Jez Banks got 5, so they could all really merge together after the pit stops. And Sam McKee, Sammy Ruskell's car got nothing, so actually they could be in the great contention. But we've still got 8 minutes till that pit window opens and everything changes. There's a car that stopped on the national circuit there and pulled into retirement. The lead of the race is still Simon Major. Oh, Martin Rogers has pulled off in the only relay car in the race. So how does this work in with one car that's pulled out Martin Rogers' Peugeot, Pip Hammond's car in the pit lane?
Yeah, I don't know. Is he allowed to go once the pit lane window opens, possibly? Or is that it? Is that the team out of the race? I'm not quite sure.
Slightly different rules to the Burkitt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is in a couple of weeks' time, where there might be several of these cars competing, I suspect. There's the lead already in traffic, just gone through stop. Major, who is, remember, a Class A Championship contender, as is the car behind, Alan Henderson's Lotus. Oh, there's been a big accident for a Janetta. Is that Andrew Cooper's new car?
Just trying to look, it's certainly made contact with the barriers. The marshal heading to the scene.
Cooper's not come through, so I think it might be Andrew Cooper's
safety car is being requested.
Also not come through. Oh, there's a Mini on the national track, so that's probably the other car that I saw off, 65 Daniel Mehmet. But it is Andrew Cooper's new purchase and first race out, I think, today.
Yeah, I think so, and that's a great shame for him. 65 Daniel Mehmet, confirmation that was him. It looked like Andrew Cooper getting out of his car, so that's very good news. But yeah, safety car, of course, being required. With that, that's pulled onto the circuit now, and it is pickup, I think, the racing is.
Even worse news for Matt Creed, the potential championship leader, because longer the safety car goes to the pit window, which it probably will.
Yes.
And could see Andrew Cooper up now as well, so he's walking away from his car. But yeah, longer, if you've got a pit stop penalty, the longer you serve in the pit lane, you're going to lose more positions, although you won't lose as much time perhaps when everyone bunches back up. So it doesn't work in one way, maybe works in another, but it's not ideal for Matt Creed. So maybe this is a good point, actually. You know, we're under safety car, so much has happened in 9 minutes. Just have a look at that championship battle.
Yeah,
the points are pretty close.
Should we run through that? So let's do it sort of by the person which the car with actually most points on the board coming into this weekend is the car in Class D, which is the Philip and Matthew Adcock car, isn't it? Yeah. They had 62 points. Where are they in the race at the moment? They are second in Class D behind Chris Fantana's MX-5 at the moment. So they're second at the moment. So they had 62 points.
But there aren't enough cars in Class D to get maximum points. There's only 5, so they can get 12 for a win as the most.
So that's going to hamper them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then the other drivers in contention. Well, Scott Parkin's out of the race now, but he was leading Class A. He had 50. Other drivers that are in contention: Mark Burton on 56 points.
He's second in Class B at the moment.
And then Jez Banks on 58.
He's third in Class C at the moment.
And Matt Creed on 55.
Who leads the class.
So it's still, the whole pit stop situation is an interesting one. But Matt Creed is the driver who can get the highest score of anybody, because he can get up to, I think, 71 points by my reckoning, and the next highest then we'll get is the Adcocks, Phil and Matt, father and son, on 68.
But they can't now.
Only they can't. They can get 65 points they can get.
So that means actually Jez Banks is in a better position, isn't he? Because he's 1 point behind, but can score 3 points more.
Absolutely right. I see Maxine Nichols has just wandered into the commentary box to say hello. How are you doing, Maxine? Give you a kiss live on commentary. There we go. It's good to see Maxine out in the MR2. She's getting well early. Pip Hammond is now going out, I can see, in his course. We were wondering what was going to, in his Nova even. We were wondering what was going to happen there in that relay car, but he is out. There is the Janetta. Now it looks like, okay, the front bodywork has become dislodged.
Which isn't unusual in Janetta race.
No, it's not. And there's damage clear to the left front corner. And yeah, not quite sure how much damage there is there, but I'm sure someone more qualified can have a look at that. But yeah, just going back to the championship then, Matt Creed probably in prime position, but these pit stops really do throw a spanner in the works, especially with the safety car. Safety car will probably still be out when the pit lane window opens in 3.5 minutes time, I would think.
Which will be roughly when everyone comes back round. So if you're at the front of the queue, you may not be able to pit, which is not good news for you.
That's right. There is no restriction on stopping behind the safety car in this particular category, as there is in somewhere we're not allowed to have pit stops behind the safety car. So this
could get even more confusing than it already is.
It could do, yeah. It could do.
Because a safety car lap will take about 3.5 minutes, so it's going to jumble the order, I suspect, next time round, because the recovery is still going to go on, I suspect, on the next lap round. So the order of the race, let's tell you about that. Leading the way is number 18, Simon Major in the Cupra. Second is number 2, which is Alan Henderson's Lotus. Third is Paul Simerson in that new Porsche. Fourth is 222, Darren Goes in the Audi RS3. Fifth is number 6, which is Ryan Parkins TT. In 6th is Giles Kirk in the Super Cooper. And we've got a problem for a car coming across the line now. You can see it on your screen. Paul Browse is slowing with a problem in his Cupra. And that means everyone else is wondering whether they can overtake him or not. But a problem, therefore, for the Browse Cupra, which isn't going to go much further. But he's putting a gap between cars in 7th and 8th positions, I think, from Chris Freeman to Joe Williams. A big gap has evolved between those two machines, and that is slowing everyone else up. So, at the moment here, we've got a problem for Paul Browse going very slowly in what should be 8th position. So there's a big gap developed between 7th and the rest. Yeah, it'd be helpful in a way if he pulled off, wouldn't it? Because, but I suppose he wants to get back to the pits. But doesn't want to pit until the pit window opens. No, the race is going, he'll be fine, won't he? So the intrigue here is if the leaders will be able to pit this lap or not. Because if they don't, however many cars cannot pit will have a disadvantage. Okay, can we see from here how the recovery? No, we can't. How the recovery is going of Andrew Cooper's car? Does that will affect things? We think it is just that one car that is circulating. Yeah, the marshals have noted that Paul Browse has not been able to maintain its pace under the safety car. The car, the 65 car, if I don't remember, the Mini, that does need a full lift as well from the sort of national circuit link. So the leader has got a 20-second pit stop penalty, so Major's going to lose a lot of positions here, where Alan Henderson's only got 5 seconds. 15. Oh, yeah, according to this list. Yeah, I wrote 15, but it said 5. So that's so Paul Simerson in this new to him Porsche has got a good chance of a strong result here, as has Darren Goes in his Audi. He's going to do a full season next year, so that's good to see. He's moved up from racing other 45-minute races, which he's won titles in before. So now having a go at the Roadsports Championship. He's had an outing at Silverstone, didn't he, which went fairly well. He got a 4th, I think, at Silverstone, and could have an even stronger result here. But this pit lane will open in 10 seconds. I wonder if the safety cars just backed them up enough so everyone can get in this lap. Well, and they will do that, won't they? Probably everyone, from a tactical point of view, as long as the safety car doesn't come in, everyone would want to pit this lap, but the order's going to be really jumbled afterwards. Yes, I mean the advantage is that they'll all come out at the same time, which makes the race a bit easy to follow. But not in an order that might make much sense. No, so are they going to come in? They are not. So the pit window is open, and so the top 3 have made a big mistake here, I think, Ian. Yeah, everyone else behind them, it seems to be sort of diving down pit lane. I guess maybe they thought they've got to pass the pit window open board. Not in this championship. No, maybe that's what they thought though. I hadn't appreciated that, but you're right. Everyone else is coming in, besides these sort of handful of cars, a couple of back markers in there as well. And you can see they have to park at an angle, 45-degree angle, outside their pit garage. There's now a medical car now heading out onto the circuit, I can see. Whether that's just to reposition itself, maybe, I don't know. And also out of the pit lane goes the number 60 car, which had gone in for reasons not quite known, which is the Lee Reynolds, Jack Reynolds Honda Civic. So that was a stop outside of the pit window, I think, for them. But yeah, they need to park at 45 degrees after the minute is up, or longer if it's a pit stop penalty. They have to push back out into the pit lane. The Class D lead has stayed out, Chris Fantana. The safety car's going to be in this time, which is probably even worse news for Major, Henderson and Simerson, unless the other thing that did happen at Oulton Park, which might be in the thought of the top 3 teams, is the red light always stayed on
at the end of the pit lane.
Yes. So obviously if that happens, they'll lose a lap.
Yeah, so that is the other thing here. It's that's an interesting consideration because there's now a lot of cars in the pit lane. Yeah, the safety car is not going to be in this lap, is it? Because the
lights were out.
They were out. So maybe the lights had stopped working, but there's still the recovery vehicle on the side of the circuit. There's another one going out, but yeah, safety car is not going to be in this lap. Now the danger is that some of the drivers think it will be.
Ryan Parkin's taken what will become the lead of the race. He's the first car to exit pit lane. So that's good news for Ryan Parkin, who hasn't had an amazing year, has he? So if he could go out with a strong result, that would be great news. And everyone else is leaving the pit lane right in front of the commentary box at the moment. Just looking to see how Matt Creed and rivals are getting on in Class C, because that's championship implications. They're not come out as of yet, I don't think. But surely he's going to lose several positions in all of this.
You would have thought so. Right, we've now got that medical car in the middle of the train behind the safety car as well, which is interesting.
Jez Banks, I reckon, is taking the lead of Class C, so this could bring that car back into championship contention. Creed is yet to leave, so I think he's at least 6th. So he's got work to do. He's 7th, possibly. That's my guess at this point. We'll get confirmation into the lap. I think Matt Creed's something like 7th in class, with a lot of work to do, with the really the closest car in the championship leading the way.
Safety car lights are back on, which is reassuring, seeing as the recovery is still yet to be completed. We have got 26 and nearly 27 minutes of this race left to go, and are still behind the safety car. Now you've got to think that all of these drivers that didn't pit this time, and included in there is the Class D leading car, Phil and Matt Hadcock. That's the yellow BMW compact that's just gone through shot. That you think they would pit this time.
The one good news for them is neither did Chris Fantana, so the Class D battle is sort of unaffected.
But you'd think all of these drivers would head to this. And maybe some drivers didn't head to this. Maybe they thought it would just be too busy, too congested.
Well, that's the other.
And they thought, actually, we're probably going to get more than one safety car lap, so we'll take that gamble.
I think when you're in contention, you've got to take the tactical point of view, haven't you? Maybe in Class D where there's not so many cars, and actually you gain so much track position if you don't. If you stay out, which they're not doing. Everyone's coming back in. So everyone has come in. Now it's the lapped cars, isn't it, behind the safety car? Well, the one car that hasn't come in is Thomas Hiley. So Thomas Hiley is the new race leader in the Mazda MX-5, which is, 3rd in the train. The one car that has not pitted in this race, other than the cars that went a lap down, is the new race leader. There it is.
Yeah, that's the number 2 car. So that's Alan Henderson handing it over to Dan Jude, isn't it, in the number 2 car?
If Dan Jude got in the car rather than taking the rear engine cover off.
Yeah, I think he's now going to. No, he's exploring something underneath the engine cover.
Almost like he doesn't trust a Lotus to last the race.
Yeah, let's just make sure. So the car behind the safety car there is the number 17 Kevin Taylor BB Mazda 2, showing that car with Adam Headley, the number 17 today. And then just behind that is the car that was in the pits a bit earlier than it should have been for a scheduled stop, Lee Reynolds and Jack Reynolds. So that's still due, I think, to make its scheduled stop.
So the leader in reality is Ryan Parkin. From Giles Kirk and Darren Goers, Chris Freeman is 4th and Joe Williams is 5th. There's Paul Simonson, who could have been the race leader. Instead, he is going to be in something like 30th position, so that's how much time it loses you. Here comes the Andrew Cooper car on the flatbed, minus front and rear bodywork.
Yeah, so it's a lot of bodywork.
Oh, now the rest get a red light just to make their life even worse than it already was. And Daniel Hughes now took his helmet off, so Alan Henderson, who had been going really strongly, that car might not rejoin the race.
So the Cooper car is going to head off on the back of the recovery truck at the sort of gap at Redgate. The recovery truck can drive back into the paddock. So now the cars are released from that red light at the end of the pit lane.
So championship contenders, we were down to 4, weren't we?
Yes, no Scott Parker anymore.
So Mark Burton is 8th in Class B, so he's lost several positions with his pit stop penalty of 15 seconds. Then there's 2 championship contenders from Class C. Jez Banks will become the leader when the other 2.
a lap behind the safety car as well.
For the likes of Creed and Burton, they want as many racing laps as possible now.
They do. It's really in their interest. We're nearly at the halfway point in this race now. 45-minute race with just about 23 minutes left to go. The order on the time screen is still not a very sensible one to give you at the moment. Josh has been trying to sort of correct the positions as he's been giving an update.
If Banks wins Class C, Matt Creed needs to get to third with fastest lap. And we are going racing.
Oh, we are going racing. That's caught us by surprise. 1 or 2 heading into pit lane, including the Thomas Hiley Mazda MX-5. And there is the race leader. That is Ryan Parkin then. Number 6, the leader. From number 211, Giles Kirk in second. Darren Goers is third and trying to go second on the way into Redgate Corner, but doesn't make that work. And then fourth is Freeman in the 24 car. Chris Freeman in the Honda.
I've got a Cupra on my screen, so we'll see what car it actually looks like.
No, I think you might be right.
Okay, so new car this weekend for Chris Freeman. So there's our race leader, Ryan Parkin, who's not won a race this season. His brother won at Snetterton. There's been at least one different winner in every race, hasn't there? Simon Majors won twice,
yes.
But once he did himself, once he did with Alan Blenko.
Yes, that's right.
So there's been at least one different winner in every race this season, and actually it's pretty likely this race is going to be won by someone else.
It looks like that now.
And with Ryan leading, that could really help Scott out in the Class A Championship battle, because Scott's not returned to the race, I don't think.
No, off goes the 1-2-1 car. That's Josh Johnson, isn't it? That's off the road there, and it's Volkswagen Golf up at McLean's.
He was third in Class B on the restart.
Was that on his own, or was there someone else involved in all of that? So 21.5 minutes to go. Ryan Parkin the leader.
Matt Creed is 7 seconds behind Jez Banks in Class C on the restart. Obviously there's loads of cars between them.
And 21 minutes of the race to go, so keep an eye on that. Yes, it is a Cupra, isn't it, for Chris Freeman in that 24 car. So in Class A, I think, rather than Class B, as shown in the programme. 3 cars side by side there as Simerson goes past 2 of them there.
Creed is in this battle, isn't he, with Sam McKee and Luke Baird, who's on very wide. This was for 4th in Class C. There's one place. Matt Creed hasn't got it yet. I think there's a bit of history, isn't there, between Matt Creed and Mazda RX-8s this season, so we would like to make this play safely. He's already passed Gavin Johnson. There's a major that's now Blenko, of course. So Alan Blenko looking to win the Class A title if he can. Simerson 16th. That's an amazing restart, isn't it? Because he was like 30th.
Yeah.
That is an amazing lap from Paul Simerson. How far is he behind the leader? 23.5
seconds behind Ryan Parkin.
Okay, so how high up the order can he get? So Creed is now 7th in Class C. So we've got 2 places on. Oh, so we didn't get past Beardman in the end. The RX-8 stayed ahead. There is Banks. So that's really the championship battle. 7 Banks on your screen now versus 1-2-3 Creed. They are the 2 most likely, although that man there, Mark Burton, is another contender. He is 5th now, and he was 9th on the restart, so he gained 4 places in Class B, so he's not out of it yet.
Really sort of lottery there in the middle of the race, wasn't it? That safety car and those pit stops have really jumbled the order. It's made for quite an exciting second part of this race. We're now baking down to a 20-minute sprint race here. Look at this, there's 6 or 7 cars in that battle.
That's Class C cars
for Class C.
So it's all important, really, from the championship point of view. So this is all for 2nd in Class C, I reckon.
Yeah, and they've all just been passed by Alan Blenko, haven't they, as well, in the Cooper that was leading the race.
So you've got 11, which is Baker, 36 is McKee, 93 is Hayes, and then have you got possibly Creed up next? So he's gained some. Oh no, it's the other clear, isn't it? It's the Heathcote car.
Change for 2nd place there overall. Darren Goers has gone up to 2nd now. Chris Freeman 2nd, and Williams is down to 3rd. Giles Kirk has dropped back down the order to 7th. Lost about 9 seconds on that lap, so maybe a small mistake for Giles Kirk in the layoff.
Mark Burton up to 3rd in Class B, so he's gained 6 places in 2 laps. Matt Creed round the outside of his mate Chris Heathcote. There's his contender up the road, but he doesn't need to get ahead of him, does he? He needs to get close to him. What did I say? 3rd and fastest lap?
I think so, yeah.
He's 6th now, about to go 5th up the inside of Heathcote. I don't think it'll make his life too difficult. And through he goes then. So you've got Jonathan Hayes up next ahead of him. Penalties coming through for the car in 7th place, Giles Kirk, has got a 76-second stop-go penalty, I understand.
Okay, and try and figure out why that was. What, anything? Oh yeah, not parked at the right angle during his pit stop.
Okay, so he is 7th, Giles Kirk. He was higher up than us earlier, though. Matt Creed flashing his lights now at Johnny Hayes. So Matt Creed is going for the championship here. Remember, this is the first year as a championship for Roadsports, and it's been an amazing season with these huge capacity grids, really, at most rounds. Matt Creed has won 3 times in Class C. He won at Croft, and he won the two recent races at Snetterton and Silverstone. New lap record now to the race leader, Ryan Parkin, 1 minute 39.830. That's 6/10 underneath the lap record.
Right, news from Matt Suckling, which he did give me some time ago, and I'm only now reading. Scott Parkin, the reason that he has retired was the clamp that holds the turbo. He's watching Matt Creed make a position here, possibly within class, down towards the hairpin. He's going past the Hayes BMW, so up another place goes Matt Creed. Just to finish off what I was telling you, Scott Parkin, the clamp that holds the turbo came off. That happened on the green flag lap, and it was a diff failure for Martin Gadsby, which caused the BMW Compact to retire that was running briefly in second place during the first part of that race. Sorry, Matt, for ignoring your messages.
Creed has got the fastest lap in Class C by 900 until now. Sam McKee sets the fastest lap in Class C, 149.6. So that means Creed needs to get to second rather than third to win the championship if Jez Banks wins this race. And he hasn't. He has got past Jonathan Hayes. So Creed is 4th now, but 3.5 seconds behind the next car. He's got 16 minutes to catch and might need to pass 2 cars yet, unless Jez Banks loses a place, and he currently leads the class by 2 seconds.
Okay, it's there is a lot going on here, a lot to keep our focus on, but you're doing very well, Joshua, keeping on top of the points there.
And you have to do this all yourself, unlike last week, it all came up on the screen for you.
So there is the 221 car, so the 22 car, which is that of it is the 221, wasn't it? Paul Browse. That was the car going slowly at one point. That's just made a move on back on Giles Kirk. I think Kirk got ahead now. That's swapped around again. There is the what are we looking at here? We're just looking at that battle coming through now, aren't we?
Which includes the Class B leader, doesn't it?
It
Johnny
does.
Monday. And it's side by side, nearly second in class, which includes Mark Burton, who is a championship contender, remember? So, what does
that's with Liam Crilly, isn't it? Is the other car in that battle in the BMW.
I just wonder if Burton got to the front, whether he could then become a contender too, possible at this stage. But at the moment he's 3rd, isn't he, in class? And Mark Burton's made very good progress. But yeah, that's odd, the Browse issue, isn't it? Because that car was going so slowly. Got 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, but it's running strongly in 6th position somehow.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how, but I suppose it made it back to the pits, didn't it? And managed to sort perhaps whatever the issue was and get back out again.
Perhaps it did it on the track and caught everyone as well.
Yeah.
They didn't lose any place. So there's Johnny Monday leading Class B. And Class B has only seen one double winner, hasn't it? Mark Burton. Johnny Monday's yet to win, so it could be yet another winner. There must be so many different winners this year in Roadsports.
Well, it's been so competitive, hasn't it? Huge entries all the way through the season. The championship status has really worked very well. It's been a very popular championship. It's growing. I'm sure it will continue to grow next season as well. I think there's some interesting calendar entries lined up, so we'll see how that pans out.
14 different winners so far. Parkin hasn't won yet. Monday hasn't won yet. So it's there's a good chance we could get 2 more. Now, what were we saying about the Browse car?
It's slowing again, isn't it? Because through has gone Johnny Monday now in the 421 car, which is leading Class B at the moment.
Was it just a mistake at the hairpin? The car seems to be back up to speed now. But Johnny Monday's going well here, isn't he? I'm not sure how much we've seen of him this year. But he's done a few races, hasn't he? He's had a 2nd and a 3rd in class, but not the win. In that, I believe it's still a supercharged car, as it has been in the past. Simerson is 8th now, and behind them, Mark Burton's just past Liam Crilly for 2nd in class.
Yeah.
Blenco's coming as well, so both Simerson and Blenco have made great progress here.
Yeah, Simerson made 3 places on that lap. Blanco just the 1 place, but between them there's only couple of seconds or so, really, between those two cars.
And for Blenko, he's trying to win a class championship in all of this, isn't he? He's the only one now. I don't think Henderson got back out, did he? So that's out of it. Gadsby retired early, so he's out of it. I don't think Wayne Lawson got in. He was a reserve, so he's down to just Alan Blenko now to stop Scott Parkin from winning the class championship.
Yes.
He needs to get to 5th to do it,
Okay.
I reckon.
And he's currently in 8th place within the class. To get to 5th, he does need to find about 12 seconds, I think. That's a tall order with only 12 minutes or so of the race left to go.
Matt Creed sets the fastest lap in Class C by half a tenth. That could be an important bonus point. 1:49.614. So that means he only needs to get back to 3rd.
Oh, no, that was that a lock? Was that a bit, looks like a bigger problem, doesn't it, for our Class D leader? Yes, the broken front wheel on the Class D front-running car. Matt Adcock now aboard that car. Whether there's been some contact there that has caused that damage or whether there's just been a failure, but this is bad news for the Class D championship leader.
He had been catching Chris Fantana for the class lead, but no points out of this race then for the Class D, and at the moment coming into this race the championship leading car, Matt Adcock. So the drama of this race just keeps on giving.
The good news is I don't think they can be caught for the Class D championship,
no,
can they? So
already.
they'd already won that, so that is at least something, and maybe big squeegee chance that everyone survives, but maybe the overall championship was just going to evade them anyway. So okay, disappointing way to finish the season, but nevertheless a good strong year.
There's Ryan Parkin, he leads by 10 seconds, so it's all going at this point very nicely.
Just ahead of Pip Hammond out there in the Nova, who was in the commentary box for the last Roadsports event.
Did a very good job, and I suspect doing a better job in the car than we might be able to
yes,
manage.
absolutely. I don't think we should do a job swap. That would go well.
So the Class C cars are about to come across the line. Don't look at the sticker on the side of the car.
What sticker?
I don't know, I couldn't see it. So Class C cars across the line. Jez Banks leads by 2 seconds from Simon Baker. He's 1.6 ahead of Sam McKee, who's now only 1.1 ahead of Matt Creed, because Creed was a second quicker on the last lap. He just set another fastest lap in the class, so if we can see car 1, 2, 3, Matt Creed, championship deciding moments might be coming up shortly. So Matt Creed catching Sam McKee at the moment, and 3rd, I'll get you to check this in because I think they'll be equal on points, he and Banks, but they've won more, Creed has won more races.
Okay, well, I'll do that in a minute.
Just to make sure what I put in
next
is
time
accurate.
I hand back to you, let's do that. At the minute, we're watching Ryan Parkin leading this race by now 11 seconds from Darren Goes. So it's number 6 the leader, 222 Darren Goes is second, 24 Chris Freeman is third, 211 Giles Kirk is in 4th place. No, those two have swapped around. 188 Joe Williams is 4th, Giles Kirk 211 is 5th, Paul Simmons is up to 6th, Alan Blenko is up to 7th now. What did we see? He needed to get to 5th, did we say?
So many things to remember. Yes, 5th would equal him with Parkin, and he's one more race.
He's only 3 and a bit seconds behind Giles Kirk now, who is in 5th place, so that's possible now. It didn't seem possible 3 minutes ago, but now it does.
Passing Simerton might be challenging, so really it's Kirk and Williams he needs to pass, so Williams is only over second up the road, so that is on. And Alan Blenko started racing the 750 Motor Club 26 years ago, when he finished 4th in a championship, so could he 26 years later be a champion? Not an overall one, but a class championship, which really is all you can really do. Winning the overall championship relies on others quite a lot.
I think that's Jordan Newington in the shot, just going in for his pit stop penalty, 30 seconds stop and go. He's got to serve.
Here we go, Matt Creed's drawing up alongside Sam McKee for 3rd position in Class C, and he's being urged on by the team. So there's Banks leading it, 2nd position is Baker, 3rd is McKee, and that's where Matt Creed needs to get, and he dives up the inside into Redgate corner. They're side by side as they go out of short. There's a car that's pulled off the road as well, which is another Janetta. That's John Dundee, but further up the road, heading through Hollywood, you had Sam McKee just about fending off Matt Creed, who needs to get past him to win the Tagiwa Roadsports Championship.
Yeah, that put them level on points, I think. Is that what you thought as well?
And they've won more races.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
or has he? No, because he's won 3, and if Banks wins this, he'll win 3, won't he?
So we go to 2nd places, I think.
Yeah, let me look. Neither of them have had a 2nd, they've both had a 3rd.
Yeah.
So we'll go to. I haven't. Right. Let's get the big spreadsheet out.
Okay. Yes, it's.
I forgot about the.
let's just hope something decisive happens to stop them being level on points here. 8.5 minutes to go in this race, and it is Ryan Parkin leading by now 12 seconds.
So more fourth place finishes for Jez Banks could win this championship. So therefore Creed needs second, doesn't he? Not third. So we go back on that point, I think. So second Matt Creed needs, regardless of fastest lap.
Yeah, and how far away is he from that at the moment? He is about 2 seconds
and
or so.
For the Class A Championship, news is good for Alan Blencoe, because the car ahead of him, Giles Kirk's been given the black, oh no, not 2, no, wrong number, 221 rather than 211. 221, black flags, apologies. So that's Paul Browse.
Yes, that's the car that's got to serve a long stop and go. The 211. If Kirk does have to serve
it's a
stop and go
car.
penalty, big pardon. So he's going to be out of position. There is McKee and Creed side by side as they go through Redgate Corner. They're still side by side as they head through Hollywood and down towards the Craner curves. I can see from our commentary box window they are still absolutely wheel to wheel. Here they are, Josh.
Yeah, and they're catching the car ahead, which is the important one, it seems, for Matt Creed. So we thought third might be enough. It may not be now, though. And Sam McKee's not going to let him have this third position easily. Seems like if you're newly married, it doesn't slow you down very much. Big slide for Sam McKee as he come out the corner across the line. Alan Blencoe's up to fourth. So the Class A Championship looks like it might be going the way of Alan Blencoe. The overall championship is still up for grabs. We have to take a big deep breath as we head down to Matt Saplin, then we'll bring you news of how the championship's going.
Down here in the pit lane with the Adcox, unfortunately some dramas with your cars, guys. Matt, you were in the car at the time, just talk us through what happened.
Yeah, so I was chasing Chris, knowing that, you know, we really needed a win if we wanted to stay in contention for the overall. And I saw I had an opportunity to get a good run onto a back straight on him, but as I hit the inside curb, there was just a bit of a bang, and then realised quite quickly that something was wrong, and yeah, the shock absorbers failed. I was rubbing on the inside of a tyre, so unfortunate. It's one of them. Unfortunate happens while we're here trying to win the championship, but could have happened to anyone. So.
Such a shame. You're doing so well this year in terms of Class D, and Phil, just a quick word with you as well. I think the overall championship is done, but I think you still might be in contention for Class D.
We've won Class D, we know that for definite, and we're hoping we'll still be in the top 3 of the main championship. But I'm smiling. I know he's a bit raw at the moment, but it's our first DNF for a hell of a long time. Yeah, it happens, and it's been such a great championship. We're really happy that actually we're now finishing Class D champions. Come back next year and have a go at the overall championship.
Good stuff. And Matt, for you as well, not the way you wanted to enter the season, but overall the season has been a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what 750 have done, making Roadsports a championship this year, has really resonated with everybody up and down the paddock. So hopefully we'll get a lot more entries next year, and it will be just as good as this year.
Matt, Phil, sorry about the bad luck to end the season, but good luck for next season. Cheers, guys. There we go, the Adcox down with that drama, but more great racing on track, guys.
Certainly is, and we saw on the inset there while we were hearing from those drivers that the battle was still going on between Matt Creed and Sam McKee. But I think he's now Matt Creed ahead, isn't it? Up into third place within that class and chasing after Baker, but he's nearly 3 seconds behind at the start of this lap.
Yeah, we think he needs second now, don't we? So going back on what I thought earlier, or Banks to not win it. He is being caught by Simon Baker. There's 1.1 seconds between them. Creed is catching massively quickly. Just got a shot of them through Coppice. And here they are then. So Banks in the Janessa lead. It's 7. 11 is Baker. That is not 3 seconds back to Matt Creed now, though. So the championship is still on. It's not won yet. There's 4.5 minutes to go. Matt Creed needs another place. But at the moment, if it stays as it is, because Jez Banks has had more fourth place finishes, that's how they win the championship. That's pretty extraordinary if that goes for that.
It seems that's how it's all going to be decided. So subject to official confirmation. But yeah, there he's flashing his lights as well as he was heading down towards the Melbourne hairpin there, Matt Creed. Now, how much longer is he going to have in this race? Maybe 3 more laps, something like that. Just depends exactly where Ryan Parkin is, who's just ahead of them, isn't he? So he's going to have 3 laps to go now, isn't he? I think Ryan Parkin. So these will have 3 laps to go as well in this Roadsports race. So that's going to make it a 23-lap race, I reckon.
Baker caught Banks by 2 tenths, but a second and a half quicker than them was Matt Creed. So this is a real drive of a champion, should he get there, Matt Creed. He's been, 10th on the restart, became 8th, I think, as 2 cars pitted, and he's worked his way up into 3rd place, and he's catching rapidly the 2 cars ahead. But out of anybody, I feel like Simon Baker might not be the one to make it his life easy to find a way through.
I mean, it's looking like all of the other 3 classes are sorted now, doesn't it? I think Alan Blanco to win Class A, Mark Burton probably going to win Class B assuming he finishes, and Class D, as we heard already, had been won by the Adcots before this weekend. So it's just Class C that we need to see sorted out, and it is still very much up for grabs. There's Sam McKee in the 36 car. He's just going to have a lap put in by Dan Goes in the number 222 Audi car. He's just going to go past him, and he'll be catching the battle amongst the first 3 then in the Class C, and with many moments.
That last lap, Matt Creed went 1.6 seconds under his own lap record from last year.
Wow.
So that is how much he's pushing on to try and win this championship.
We're pretty much going to get 3 for the lead, aren't we, in Class C by the end of this?
And it's that total started at Croft, wasn't it? All those months ago, there was a really close battle for the class honours at Croft, and sort of a good budget class as well, isn't it? Class C with these types of cars. What a great way to get into this championship and seemingly become a champion.
Yeah, there's seemingly a lot of people spending not a huge amount of money. It's interesting, isn't it? Because often we find the more competitive class, and Class C has been very competitive. Oh, Darren Goes, you could be trying to make your mark on the championship there by diving into the inside of a championship contender. That worked out, fortunately. But yeah, sometimes the most competitive class doesn't give you an overall champion, but it might do here, which is really interesting.
Some of the reasons, because all 4 classes have been so competitive. Alan Blanco's just set a new lap record, by the way, 1:39.5. Oh, and Baker's sideways. This is going to change the championship because the second place car's off the road, and Matt Creed has gone through, and that is where he needs to get to, second in Class C.
Now, does he know that, though, or is he still going to be pushing to try and catch Jez Banks in the number 7 Janetta that's running in 12th place overall? Does he think he might still need to get ahead of that car and be pushing a little bit too hard?
What could change it if Jez Banks gets the fastest lap, because that will put them back equal. So it's not over yet, but Jez Banks hasn't really got close to that Matt Creed lap time. He did a PB last time, but needs to find another second, which would be difficult, you'd imagine. Yeah,
he's really got to pull something from his sleeve there, hasn't he, to try and stand a chance of getting the fastest lap, you would think. Creed has got his lights on again. That's cheeky, isn't it? Flashing your championship rival, saying, get out the way. Come on. He's going to be passed now by the Freeman car, that is, isn't it? That's in 3rd place overall. That's a big good result for Chris Freeman in his first time in that car, in the Cupra, drive from Loughborough, just down the road. And also in there is Blanco as well. So Blanco also now getting around the 2 Class C leads. So Blanco could be up for the podium here overall as well.
Yeah, at this point, the drivers on the podium haven't been on the podium all year, I don't think. Parkin, Goes and Freeman, but Alan Blanco could change that on the final lap of the race. Matt Creed would like to win this race by winning the class. He locks up going into the hairpin. They're about to pass the Class D leader, Chris Fantana. 1 lap to go then of this absolutely dramatic season decider.
And there's the change for 3rd overall. Blanco trying to go around the outside of Freeman, the 2 Cupras together, but they've not done it. And Creed is now right with Jez Banks for the Class C lead as well as they head into Redgate and Hollywood. The 3rd place battle still side by side ahead of them. There's the overall leader, Ryan Parkin, who's about 20 seconds up the road of that battle.
How can such a dramatic race be won by somebody that's had such an undramatic 45 minutes seemingly?
Everyone else has been having the dramas, I think, is the answer to that question, and Ryan Parkin as well. And now that's the 4-2-1
the Class B leader.
Class B leader. Johnny Monday is pulling off.
Oh, that means Mark Burton's going to win Class B.
Yeah.
That won't bring him in, will it?
You'd better check the maths, but that car's now pulled off at the end of the week off straight. You check the maths, I'll watch the screens, because we've got Matt Creed, number 1, 2, 3, right with Jez Banks as they climb out to McLean's up towards Coppice Corner for the final time in this race. The clock has counted down to 0. Ryan Parker already on his way through the S's, and a little bit further round the lap.
Burton's 3 points out of it.
Okay, so even that retirement doesn't change the overall situation. There's Blanco. He might even get second here. He's not too far behind Aaron Goers here. Ryan Parkin a little bit further up the road and already heading towards the checkered flag. There it is. So Ryan Parkin wins for the first and only time this season in the Tagiwa Roadsports Championship. It's side by side for the Class C lead as they went into the Melbourne hairpin for the final time. It's still Jez Banks just ahead, but it's going to be the car that's in second place here. I think Matt Creed that is just about going to do enough for the title, although he's going to try and get the win. Locks up going into Gollards for the final time. Can he get the place on the switchback coming out of the final corner? Up to the line they go. It is just going to be Jez Banks that holds on to take the Class C win on the road from Matt Creed. But for the championship, Josh?
By a point, I think. You have checked this here.
I've got to check again now.
I think by a point, Creed has done it in such dramatic circumstances, really.
Yeah, he got the fastest lap as well, didn't he? So I think it's actually 2 points. I think he's done.
Oh
it
yeah,
by.
might not.
So yeah, I think so. He will go on to 68 points, Matt Creed, and Jez Banks 66. Mark Burton, he can't get to that even with that win that he will now have in that class. So I think he'll be third in the championship, probably. Yes. Yeah. As a result of all of that.
Alan Blenko with Simon Major has won the Class A championship by 3 points, I reckon. So that was a great drive for Alan Blenko.
And they did have 3 wins during the course of the season. That car had 3 wins, certainly not always with both of them in it.
2 wins.
I think they had 3, did they not? Between the Simon Major had 1 on his own.
Yeah, he won at they both won both Silverstone races, haven't they? I think you're thinking of Club Enduro, but they've had more.
Yeah, that's what. Anyway, 3 wins is what they've had, I think, between them, is what we're saying. Anyway, there's the winner of this race, Ryan Parkin. It is that
Ryan's first win for a while, I think, isn't it?
It is, and on his own as well. Sometimes he shares with Dylan Brichter as well as he sharing tomorrow in Club Enduro. Yeah.
Although bizarrely, Dylan Brichter, because he did one race, they didn't finish with Scott Parkin, who's going to win the Class A championship.
Okay.
And could win the overall championship by driving a car very briefly.
Okay, hopefully we'll have a look at the results in just a moment of that 45-minute Kiwior Roadsports Championship race. And before we switch back to sprint racing for the rest of the afternoon, Ryan Parkin it was number 6 that took the win at the end of 23 laps by 16 seconds from number 222 Darren Goers, who was second by only 0.2 of a second in the end from number 18 Simon Major and Alan Blenko.
Quickly say, I think that's Blenko's first championship victory in anything in 26 years of racing. Amazingly, he had lots of seconds in high-level stuff, but never a champion, I don't think.
Okay, well that's good news for him. 4th 24 was Chris Freeman, 5th was 55 Paul Simerson, 6th 188 Joe Williams, 7th winning Class B was number 26 Mark Burton, 8th number 12 Liam Crilly, 3rd in Class B and 9th overall 83 William Puskill and Chris Nyland. Didn't really mention him at all during the course of that race, I don't think. Rounding out the top 10, the 421 car of Monday, although that was a car that stopped on the very last lap. Paul Browse, number 221, was 11th. Then our Class C top 3, 12th, 13th and 14th, 7 Jez Banks, 1, 2, 3 Matt Creed, and 11, which was the car of Simon Baker. 15th Sam McKee and Samuel Wasoul, who started the race. 16th Sammy Bowler. 17th 172, which was Chris Heathcote. 18th number 93 Jonathan Hayes. 19th number 69, which was the car of Jordan Newington. And rounding out the top 20 was Gavin Johnson and Ewan Lintz in their Honda. And then you can see the rest of the drivers outside the top 20 on screen, and there's probably at least one more screen to go. Such is the size of the entry in the Kiwior Roadsports Championship as well, Josh.
That must be one of the most dramatic championship conclusions we've had, not just at 750 club events, but I think in British Motorsport. That was because of all the class situations. It was not the easiest thing to follow, with lots of stuff happening, with a jumbled order because of the safety car and pit stops. But Matt Creed, who you have to say perhaps deserves it because he came past so many cars to get there, didn't he? Setting new lap records, going faster than he'd ever gone in that car before, and has had those 3 class victories over the season. And to chat to all our winners down in pit lane is Matt Sutton.
Thanks very much, guys. Yep, down here with our race winner for the first time this year. That race had more drama than an episode of EastEnders, didn't it? But cracking race. Well done, Ryan. Many congratulations. How was it?
Yeah, it felt pretty good. I think we called it right on the safety car coming in, and then we got probably a second or so quicker than what Darren Goes got, so just jumped him in the pit stop. That'll definitely upset him, which I'm glad about. And then we just went for it. And then everybody seemed to just drop back a little bit, but then my 5th gear's dead in my gearbox, so it's a sequential, so I'm having to go up 2 gears at once. I lost like 1.5 seconds every lap there. The car felt good otherwise, so yeah, good.
There was so much going on in that race which you probably didn't understand what was happening being out front, but unfortunately your brother had some dramas as well.
Yeah, they told me on the radio he got a turbo to manifold gasket problem. We're running like 1,000 degrees EGTs on these cars, so when you park up, then you start again. Sometimes you just have that problem, which unfortunately at the beginning of this race. So, yeah.
I know it's the last race of the season, but what a way to go out in style with a win.
Yeah, and the kids were watching as well, so they can stop talking about all my second place trophies.
Enjoy it though?
Yeah, it was good.
Good stuff. Good luck for next year.
Cheers.
There we go, a race winner. Let's go across and get some class winners as well. We'll bring in Jez Banks very quickly. Jez, well done. Class winner there. How was that for you?
Hard work. Normally I drive with partner Dan Perry. He's in the States, so this is my first solo drive in the car. My first solo win in class. But yeah, really, really hard work.
So what you're trying to say is don't bother coming back from America, you can do it on your own.
No, I would never say that because I don't want to pay all the costs.
And it was a dramatic race, as we've been saying, lots going on. Were you involved in any of that at all?
No, I thought the safety car was going to do for us because Matt had a 20-second stop penalty more than us, which I thought might cost us, but we managed to get out. I think there was some scrapping in class behind, and I just had clear track. They were catching me at the end. We haven't quite done enough to win the championship. I think we're P2, but I'll take the win today. That's good enough. What a great battle it was, though, with Matt out there. Yeah, it really was. He is fast and ruthless. Good stuff. Well done, Jazz. Congratulations. We'll then bring in, I think, who we got here? Is that Mark Burton? Mark, let's bring in Mark quickly. Well done, Mark. You pick up victory in your class, and for you, what a great race, what a great season.
Yeah, it's been great. Great season. A few ups and downs this year. You know, we've had a couple of penalties and things to overcome, but we've done it. Today we got a penalty from qualifying. I took too many track limits in qualifying, so that's on me. I had a 5-place grid penalty, but by the end of the first lap, I'd already got those 5 places back. We stopped on the safety car. Perfect pit stops by JTM, which was perfect for us. And then I got my head down and just overtook the guys I needed to after the safety car. And unfortunately, John Monday, he was flying. He broke down on the last lap. So that's gutting. I feel for him. But it meant we won, so I couldn't be happier today.
And with the safety car coming out of the pit stop, did you kind of time that all to correct and make it work for you?
Yeah, we weren't sure where to pit at first because of how busy the pit lane was. But we just thought, you know what, let's not risk it. Let's just take the pit stop now and be done. And it was the right choice. So the team did a great job.
Enjoyed the season overall, though?
It's been a great season. You know, 750 put on a great series, and this year it's a championship. It's been really good, really friendly paddock, great driving standards, really hard, close racing. It couldn't have asked for more.
Good stuff. Well done. Congratulations to you, Mark. Let's bring in, who we got now, Chris? Yeah, Chris, come and join us. Well done to our Class D winner there. I think that's your second win of the year now in class, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been on podium all year. 2 wins, 1 second and 3 thirds, I think. Yeah, so it's been a good year. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
You can't complain about that, can you, when the season got underway and everything's gone pretty much to plan. But in terms of Class D, do you finish as runner-up now?
Yeah, that cemented P2 in class for me. Best I could have done was 1 point off P1. So a couple of penalties at the start of the year hurt, but, you know, I fought my way back, got a second win of the year, and really enjoyed it.
Did you know that the Adcocks had a problem because they unfortunately retired from the race, so that kind of brought that gap down, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to say I told you so, but he was wide at the old hairpin so many times. So it was either overdriving or he had a problem, and then half a lap later he started smoking. I could see it in the mirror, and he pulled off, which is a shame because we were having a good battle. But that's motorsport's the way it goes.
The good and the bad always, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Well done, congratulations on your class victory. And let's bring in Matt Creed as well. He's our overall champion this year in the Tagiwa Roadsports Series. Matt, how does that feel? You got a nice round of applause from the team behind you. You look pretty happy with that.
I'm over the moon. I feel like I'm going to cry. It was a really good race, 25-second time penalty as well. So to get back to second, over the moon, feel ecstatic. Yeah.
There was definitely determination there. We saw you exit the pit lane with Screecher tyres, and a great fight you had as well with Jez.
Yeah, brilliant fight with Jez. We've been fighting all year as well. So I was closing on the gap as the last few laps and nearly got him at the start and finish straight on the last lap, but second will do. But class overall champion, that's what I was really going for. So over the moon with that.
All the hard work this year has paid off. Anyone you want to thank along the way?
Do you know what? It's my friends, my family, my wife, Ryan, Hayley, my son, Tom and Teddy coming along, and all my mates. So we're all, there's a bunch of mates, there's 5 of us in a car, with cars, and just come here to have fun and to win overall champion. It's brilliant.
Matt, well done. You can go and celebrate now in style.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Cheers, guys.
There we go. Raw emotions there, which is always great to see in terms of a man wrapping up a championship. So well done to Matt Creed and all the team who fought hard through that race to give us an epic Tagirwa Roadsports Series to end 2025. We cannot wait now to see what next year delivers. In the meantime, we've got more sprint races to look forward to. The 116 Sprint and 120 Coupe Cup is on the way next.